Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Praise be to Allah who has given us various kind of pleasures that we can be given the opportunity in this proposal meeting with blessed insyaallah. Amin ya rabbal alamin. Don't forget for salawat and greetings to our role models, the great Prophet Muhammad who has brought his messages so that we can know the real truth today. Whom I respect, Dean of the Faculty of Economics, State University of Jakarta, Mr. Dr. Ari Sabtono, SA MPD, Coordinator of Bachelor's of Accounting Study Program, Faculty of Economics, State University of Jakarta, Mrs. Dr. Igusti Ketut Agung Ulupui, SA MSI AKCA. Also to my two dearest advisors, namely Mr. Dr. Khairul Anwar, SA MBA Mafis MTs as the first advisors, Mrs. Hafifah Nasution, SA MS AK, as my second advisors, where they both always guide and direct me in the process of writing this proposal. Let me introduce myself. My name is Adib Mustafa, the student of accounting, batch 2015. I will present you about my thesis proposal seminar entitled The Effect of Auditor Competence, Performance Expectation, and Task Complexity on the Use of Computer Assist Auditing Techniques. First, the reason in taking this title is because Industry Revolution 4.0 already affect my aspect of life, such as healthcare, education, and economic. In digital economic, Indonesia government has guaranteed various preparation of supporting facilities such as fiber optic cables and etc. In addition, the government also encouraged multifunctional satellites because several regions in Indonesia, for example in the eastern region, are more effective and efficient when using the satellites. He ensured that the preparation of digital economic services in Indonesia is important, considering that the information and communication sector has a contribution to the Indonesia economy because it's able to survive in midst of contraction in 2020. Elizabeth, at 2019, said the rapid development of information technology has resulted in significant changes to the accounting field. On the kemenq.go.id pages, Deputy Minister of Finance Mardiasmo, who also served as a chairman of the National Board of Indonesian Accountants Association, or called DPNIAI, stated that by ensuring the highest quality audit practices are able to increase public confidence in financial reporting, which will ultimately encourage economic growth, especially investment. Moreover, in 2020, the COVID-19 pandemic has forced everyone to make adjustment to a new life, or we call new normal, and follow government policies as stated in the decree of the Minister of Health number HK.01.07/Menkes/328/2020 concerning guidelines for prevention and control of COVID-19 in the workplace, offices and industry in supporting business continuity in pandemic situations such as work from home, school from home, the ban on going home during Idul Fitri and other religious holidays in order to avoid the transmission of the coronavirus is a challenge for economic actors. Of course, the audit was not spared in facing these challenges. For example, in obtaining audit evidence, which is often constrained by the largest scale social restriction, as called PSBB, policy contract in Government Regulation number 21 of 2020, where our area must employ vacation, shift restriction, etc. and auditee. On the DDTC news page written by Doni Agustiawan on Wednesday, November 11, 2020, the Supreme Audit Agency of the Republic of Indonesia, or we call it BPKRI, has completed the summary of semester examination resolution, or IHPS, first/2020. From the results of the examination, BPK found a number of non-compliance issues that caused stated losses. Of the total 13,000 2,567 findings, as many as 6,713 findings, or 50%, are problems with weaknesses in the internal control system, or SPI. With all the findings in the first semester of 2020, BPK still missed out on the fact that several local governments or agencies received unqualified opinions, or called WTP, wajar tanpa pengecualian, but there were still fraud such as corruption in several ministries and state institutions, such as the lobster seed export case that occurred at the Ministry of Maritime Affairs and Fisheries, or called Kementerian Kelautan dan Perikanan, which ensnared Minister Adib Prabowo, and the social assistance, or called Bansos, Bantuan Sosial, case of the Ministry of Social Affairs, which ensnared Ministry Juliari Batubara. That is the reason why I want to do a research BPKP as the government's internal supervisor with various other additional backgrounds. Based on the background of the problem that I described above, my research poses the following question. First, is there an effect of auditor competence on the use of computer-assisted audit techniques? The second question, is there an effect of performance expectation on the use of computer-assisted audit techniques? And the third question, is there any effect of task complexity on the use of computer-assisted audit techniques? The objective to be achieved on the research that I did were to find out and analyze, first, the effect auditor competence on the use of computer-assisted audit techniques. The second, the effect of performance expectation on the use of computer-assisted audit techniques. The third, the effect of task complexity on the use of computer-assisted audit techniques. The benefits of the research conducted by the author consist of theoretical benefits and practical benefits, including the first historical benefits. The research is expected to be used as a reference for future research in the field of accounting and auditing in particular, especially those related to the use of computer-assisted audit techniques. The second is practical benefits. The practical benefits first for auditors. The result of the study are expected to increase competence, performance expectation, task complexity, and the use of computer-assisted audit techniques, or TABK, auditors at BPKPRI. In addition, the auditor is able to improve his skills even better in improving his performance. For the Financial and Development Supervisory Agency of the Republic Indonesia, or BPKPRI, the expected benefit for BPKPRI is that by knowing the factor that influence the use of computer-assisted audit techniques, policymakers within BPKPRI can streamline and redevelop computer-assisted audit techniques to make them more reliable, especially with the challenges of an increasingly unpredictable future, such as during the current pandemic. This supporting theory consists of the theory that underlies the research and description related to the variables to be studied. The first theory is the grand theory of TAM, or TAM, Technology Acceptance Model. TAM is a model that consistently accounts for most of the variation in use of goals and behaviors. The TAM model was introduced by Davis at 1989 based on the TRA, Theory of Recent Action, which aims to cover the gap that explains the factor that influence or encourage technology users, stated by Napitupulu in 2017. TAM is also the basis for developing empirical studies on the readiness to use technology. This can be illustrated by the following chart. This following chart. Perceived usefulness and perceived ease of use is two factors that can impact intention to use to the technology. The second supporting theory is auditing theory. Auditing is a systematic process of collecting and evaluating evidence regarding various related information carried out by competent and independent persons to provide a level of assurance that the financial statements follow generally accepted accounting principles or other appropriate accounting principles. The third supporting theory is the theory of CAATS itself, where the Computer Assisted Audit Techniques, TABK or CAAT, is an audit technique that uses a computer as an inspection tool in achieving the audit objective. The following factors should be considered based on PSA. Number 59, SA Section 327, Auditor's knowledge, expertise, and computer experience, availability of computer-assisted audit techniques, and appropriate computer facilities, impracticality of manual texting, effectiveness and efficiency during implementation. The fourth supporting theory is the theory of auditor competence. Auditor competence in this study is person's ability to carry out a job or profession with good quality results through indicators. The first is knowledge of accounting principles in auditing standards. The second, knowledge of the client's type of work. The third is formal education that has been taken. The fourth, training courses and special skill possessed. The fifth, number of clients that have been audited. The sixth, experience in conducting audits, and the last is type of agency that has been audited. The fifth supporting theory is the theory of performance expectation. Performance expectation in this study are one's work effort in completing a task to achieve the expected goals that can be realized through the perceived usefulness indicator, extrinsic motivation, relative advantage, outcome expectation, and job fit. The last theory is task complexity theory. The definition of task complexity in the study is the perception of the difficulty a task caused by limited capability, memory, and ability to integrate the problem of decision maker through indicators of task difficulty and task structure. Research on the effect of auditor competence, performance expectation, and task complexity on the use of computer-assisted auditing techniques, or CAAT, has been carried out by previous researchers. This study makes several references to previous research as a reference in developing theories and hypotheses that will be proposed. The research below presents the result of previous study that are used as reference in this study. The first study by Pramudita and Arenos at 2020 stated that competence in the audit field has a positive and significant influence on TABK or CAAT. Thus, the competence of auditors can affect computer-assisted audit techniques because auditors have high education and knowledge about the fields they are involved in. So, the optimal application of TABK or CAAT can support the implementation of the auditor's duties in detecting fraud. The second study is by Furiadi and Kurnia at 2015, which results in auditor competence being able to influence the computer-assisted audit techniques or TABK or CAAT because auditors have a high level of competence through continuous professional training. The auditor's competence consists of personal qualities, general knowledge, and special abilities. The third research is by Januraga and Budiarta at 2015, which states that highly educated auditors will have a broader view in various matters and have a lot of knowledge about the field they are engaged in, so that the problem that will be faced can be resolved with the knowledge they have. Namely, research by Ernawati 2016, which concludes that performance expectations have a significant influence on the application of computer-assisted audit techniques or CAAT or TABK. So this makes the author ask whether it's true that performance expectations have a significant influence on the application of computer-assisted audit techniques, which are audit techniques that minimize error. The fifth research is by Pradithaningrum and Januarti at 2012, which results in the conclusion that there are two aspects of the preparation of task complexity, namely the level of task difficulty and task structure. The difficulty level of the task is always associated with the amount of information about the task, while the task structure is related to information clarity. The existence of high task complexity can damage the judgments made by the auditor. The hypotheses that are proposed in the study are: the first hypothesis, there is an effect of auditor competence on the use of computer-assisted audit techniques. The second hypothesis, there is an influence of performance expectation on the use of computer-assisted audit techniques. And the third hypothesis, there is an influence of task complexity on the use of computer-assisted audit techniques. The following is the conceptual framework and hypothesis development in my research. The first for X1, or variable 1, is auditor competence, which has 7 indicators according to the Angelo at 1981, namely, first, knowledge of accounting principles in auditing standards. The second indicator is knowledge of the type of client work. The third indicator is formal education that has been taken. The fourth indicator is training, courses, and special skills possessed. Fifth indicator is number of clients who have been audited. The sixth indicator is experience in conducting audits, and the last indicator is type of agency that has been audited. The second variable, or X2, namely performance expectation, which has 5 indicators, according to Indrawati et al., has 5 indicators, namely, the first, perceived usefulness. The second is extrinsic motivation. The third is relative advantage. The fourth indicator is outcome expectation, and the last indicator is a job fit. The third variable, or X3, is task complexity, which, according to Rani and Putra, in 2016 and Paritaningrum and January 2012, has 2 indicators, namely the difficulty level of the task, and the second is task structure. We want to examine whether each of the 3 variables has an influence on variable Y, namely the computer-assisted audit techniques, TABK or CAAT, which according to Omunuk in 2015 and Januaraga and Budiarta in 2015 has 4 indicators, namely the first is effectiveness, the second time efficiency, the third is cost, and the last is human resources. Okay, time, place, and research design. The time of the research is from February to August 2022. The place of research, inshallah, will be carried out at the Financial and Development Supervisory Agency of the Republic of Indonesia, BPKPRI, at Jalan Pramuka number 33 S, Jakarta. And this study uses a quantitative method with an explanatory format. Population and sample. The population in this study were all 100 internal auditor at the BPKPRI head office in S, Jakarta, and the number of samples in the study were 75 internal auditor, and the sampling technique uses non-probability sampling. Instrument development. The statistical description of the respondent's profile described in this study is in the form of gender, age, education level, and length of work. The data profile used are mean, mode, median, standard deviation, variance, minimum amount, maximum amount, and total data. Data quality tests performed by testing data validity and data reliability, while the classical assumption test was carried out with the data normality test, data linearity test, data heteroscedasticity test, and data multicollinearity test. The hypothesis testing technique is carried out by using partial linear regression equation analysis simple, partial hypothesis testing t-test, determination coefficient test or R2 test, while simple linear regression equation analysis using the help of the statistical package for the social sciences or SPSS. The general formula for the simple partial linear regression equation is partial linear regression simple y similar with a plus bx. As an information, y is a dependent variable, a as a constant, b as a regression coefficient, and x as an independent variable. That's all for my thesis proposal presentation. I'm sure there are still many shortcomings that need to be corrected from this proposal, so I really look forward to your suggestion and criticism. Thank you very much for your attention. Before I close the presentation of this proposal, let me convey a quote from Ibn Sina, which reads, "There is no incurable disease except laziness. There is no useless medicine other than lack of knowledge." Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.